Light FM, Hungry Eyes. Somebody's brought in a breakfast pizza here. I've got more than hungry eyes at the moment. That looks tempting. 8:42 now. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. It's time to check in on your money and see what Wall Street's doing to us, and it's more to us than for us lately. With a look at the help of Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services. Philip, kind of a white-knuckle day yesterday, but we ended up pretty close to the flat line, didn't we?
Yeah, it was. It was an up and down day. We just can't seem to get one that continues to go up throughout the day. But I guess it's better to start red and end mixed than to start green and end red, right?
Given my druthers, I'll take it. Yeah, I refer to it as white knuckle because the Dow had like a 400-point swing during the day as the news changed and attitudes changed, and NASDAQ was up and down more than 300 points during the day. If you're a day trader, this is the kind of thing that makes you pop an awful lot of Prilosec during your day if you're a day trader right now, doesn't it?
Well, it does, because it's hard to make trades when you're trying to balance out your portfolio by the end of the day. A lot of day traders, that's what they do. They try to sell everything by the end of the day and be ready to go the next morning. And it can be a wicked day when you have this kind of ups and downs in the marketplace.
Absolutely. The guys that throw gobs of money around are, professionals. They do it. But at the same time, the amateur sitting there trying to get it, by the time you decide to make a sale, well, the price has changed by 10% during the process of a day sometimes. It gets really on the strange side. On the other side of the fence, though, that's ended up causing those day traders and amateurs to get into my fear and greed index. We're now down into extreme fear, and I think that's probably a pretty good term for the attitude right now because the market's not much happy with anything of late. Start out the morning with what probably now, given the price of oil, is old news. The Consumer Price Index comes out this morning, and it all pretty much is as expected. The top line Consumer Price Index, 2.4% inflation annualized, up 0.3% last month. The core, once you get rid of the unstable things like looking at you, oil, is at 2.5%, which a couple of analysts were expecting 0.3% for the month. Your analysts were expecting 0.2%, and that's exactly what we came in on. So basically, we've got, inflation is proceeding as it had been with no good news and no bad news, and the market kind of needed some good news off of that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, when that originally hit the marketplace about 8:30, we saw futures start to decline again. They're relatively flat, but when this news hit, they started dropping relatively fast.
Yeah, it's not a happy day, but I'm not sure what would have made them happy. If we were growing like a weed, I would think that they'd figure that would mean we wouldn't need an interest rate cut out of the Fed, so they wouldn't be happy with that. I don't think anything's making the market happy right now because they don't know what's going on. Price of oil has been I hate to say stable, but at the very least it's under 90, and some of the things impacting that, the G7 countries are restated their intention to release their strategic oil reserves in order to flood the market with a little more oil. Big news out of Saudi Arabia. They're talking about reopening and enhancing their Red Sea port to be able to ship $50 million worth of 50 million barrels worth of oil out of Saudi Arabia's Red Sea port. That helps the world oil markets get a little bit calmer at the very least. And that is something that's messing with virtually every macro that exists out there. I got a release from Lego saying expect a price increase in the price of Legos because, well, plastic's made out of oil too. Anybody wonder why oil drives so many markets? That's just kind of one of those ancillary things that make you sit up and take notice, doesn't it?
It does. We forget, what all petroleum's used for, and it's used to make a lot of things. And so it obviously, when that goes up, it affects the prices of those other items as well.
Absolutely. Other tidbits floating around today. Bitcoin is actually hovering above 70,000 for a while. They tend to be a little more reactive market in the Bitcoin and crypto market. The optimism they got out of President Trump's statement the other day that we're almost done in Iran evidently at least is helping one market, even though I'm not 100% sure the equities traders believe him.
Well, yeah. And Bitcoin, I mean, all the digital currency right now is at least in the red this morning as we get ready to start. But it's another area that's been really volatile. We've seen it drop down almost to the high 50s, and we've seen it up in 74, 75,000. It's just all over the place, and it just can't figure out. And again, it's uncertainty, right? It's uncertainty that's driving this volatility.
Absolutely, and nothing is stable at the moment, just on the grounds that same phrase I've used for 100 years, that Wall Street can handle bad news, they can handle good news, but they can't handle is uncertainty. And when you're throwing bombs at another country and they're throwing them back at you, that's kind of the poster child for uncertainty right now. So what happens in the morning almost is completely dependent upon what happens during the day. There are a few reports still coming out, and I've always described Oracle as being a dinosaur in the high-tech industries. They actually had some good news, didn't they?
They did. Oracle came out and they saw a 44% increase in their revenue from their cloud-based systems. So that's some good news there. They beat by 9 cents a share to $1.79. Revenue ahead of expectations as well. And so Oracle's trading up right now about 9.5%.
Woo, that's good news.
Yeah.
Tech is interesting to watch because the chemistry gets in there. Just a side note that I found this morning on one of my tip sheets. NVIDIA is making an announcement this morning that they're making a, quote, significant investment in another new artificial intelligence startup, and everybody on the gossip mill is saying that might mean that they're having a tiff with ChatGPT because they're funding other AI people. So it's, personal chemistry gets in the middle too, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So, hey, we've got a couple other companies that reported, not household names, but I found this one interesting. It's a drone manufacturer called AeroVironment. And so that's their deal. They make and sell drones. However, they had a rough third quarter. They missed on both earnings and on revenue. And so they're actually getting hit pretty hard today. They're down 11.8% after being down 2.5% yesterday.
We need some drones. I would think they could probably sell a few.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 52-week high. Right now, it would open at $195 a share. Its 52-week high was like $417.
Yeah. Must not be military drones. I would expect them to be hot right now, just given the atmosphere in the world as it is.
I would too. The other one I have, again, not a household name. I'm not sure what all they make. They're a safety products company, manufacturer called Cadre Holdings. I think that's how you say it. But they again, they had a really bad fourth quarter for them. They missed substantially on earnings. They were expected to make like 40 cents a share. They only made 27 cents a share. They missed revenue by about $20 million. Nothing good in their system right now. It looks like they're down about 5.1%. And the last thing is not an earning, but it's a tidbit. Nike got upgraded by Barclays, and so it had them. Yep, it's got them trading up about 1.9% this morning. They've really struggled here this last year or so.
They've gone through a lot. You're absolutely right. It's nice to see them up, even though I'm not a big fan of the company itself. Resetting the table, it ended up, after a really herky-jerky day yesterday, pretty darn close to the flat line in all the major indexes. 45 minutes before we open this morning, what are we looking at?
A lot of red ink, Dave. A lot of red ink. The Dow right now is down 0.4%. The S&P 500 is down 0.25%. And the NASDAQ 100 is down 0.2%. Russell 2000 is down almost 0.8%. So it's going to be a rough start to the morning, it looks like to me. On the other side of the coin, we got silver and gold also down. Silver down almost 4.2% this morning. Gold's down a little over 1%. Crude oil, your favorite, up 5.3% right now to $87.85 a barrel.
If it's staying under 90, given this atmosphere, I don't even mind seeing that all that much, even though I sure miss those 60s again. Looking across the ponds, the Asian Rim market responded to a flat market with us and said, oh, okay, fine, that's something close to stability. So they traded generally up. The mainland Chinese markets were up by between 1/4 and 0.75% between the two of them on the overnight close. Europe, on the other hand, is a little jittery at the moment. They're not at all happy with the oil prices, and the average European index down halfway through their trading day by almost a full percent. So Asia's happy, or Europe's unhappy, and it looks like based on the futures, we're not exactly in good humor over here either. Trying to get my retirement together to predict all this stuff takes getting the hidden risks and the hidden costs out of my plan. How do I get a hold of you to get a beat on my retirement?
That's where having a plan comes into play. And you really need to have a plan if you're getting close to retirement. It is vitally important to make sure that everything's in place and ready to go. And give us a call at 863-382-0037. We'd love to talk with you, chat with you, make sure you're heading the right direction. And then catch the Statler Financial Radio Show this weekend, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m., 95.3 FM.
And newstalk730am.com as well. I appreciate it, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Hope things are going well for you. If you're getting close to retirement or you recently retired, give us a call. Let's make sure you're on the right path to the retirement you dreamed of. Until then, have a great day.